Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 104 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim, the AAR pitcher, Van Stratton. I'm joined by Rodney Newpol. Rodney, what's up, man? How are you?
That one made me chuckle. AAR pitcher. All right. That's a good one.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. So it's AARP, but it would be AARP itcher. So I think it's AAR pitcher.
AAR pitcher. All right. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
Happy Friday. Not the last Friday in October, but getting closer. And man, November's going to be here. And I want to mention before the start of the show, today is a very rare sports equinox day.
It's Equinox Day.
It is.
That's right.
It is. Tomorrow would also be one as well. But we've got Major League Baseball. We've got the NBA. We've got NHL. Well, no, we don't have NFL tonight.
No. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So college football will have to suffice because there is college football. And then tomorrow you even get the MLS and you get UFC. So what is Equinox plus 2?
I think Monday would be an Equinox because Monday we'll have Game 3 of the World Series. We'll have Monday Night Football, Commanders Chiefs. NBA should be we got a full NBA slate on Monday, and then NHL is 2 games. So yes, Monday is the official pro sports equinox.
Yeah. Well, this can be the equinox weekend because there's pretty much everything going on. College football tonight, big day tomorrow, and so a lot going on. But this is the busiest time of year, and we've got lots to talk about today. So let's get right into it.
Yes, we do. Well, First of all, as you're chiming in, thanks to everyone who's joining us for the next hour or so. Reminder, you can give us a follow at Stupid Sports Show while you're watching there, because you're pretty much already there. Rodney, let's start with the NBA, man. And I think that you have said it best in the headline. It's been good. It's been real good. We've had 3 nights of NBA action. Well, I know Tuesday. So the last time we were on the air was Tuesday night, where neither you or me could focus on the show because we were too busy watching that amazing Thunder Rockets game that went to double overtime that OKC ended up winning. The 12-game slate on Wednesday had a lot of really good games, a lot of really high-scoring games, just really competitive. And then last night, another doubleheader, another Thunder double overtime. I think we just have to resign ourselves to the fact that every Thunder Pacers game is going to be legendary, whether it's in the finals or the regular season. And no Halliburton, like it's crazy. Like the Pacers didn't have Halliburton, they didn't have McConnell. Nembhard got hurt early, only played 17 minutes, and yet they went double OT with the Thunder, and then Nuggets Warriors at the end, which was 137-131. Didn't even need overtime.
Pacers just play their ass off though, and really so does Oklahoma City. And it's a basketball. If you like the game of basketball, it's a basketball delight because they play their ass off. They play hard. They play pretty well. They're well coached. But you got to get. I mean, it's 2 games in. You got to be a little concerned that Oklahoma City's played a lot of basketball here early, right? Like this is the defending champs. They were already had the shortened off season. Now they've played, basically an extra game in 2, but they can worry about that later. They are 2-0. SGA came up with a big night last night. But yeah, we've seen some really good games. I'd say probably the biggest disappointment was Cooper Flagg's opening night was not great. He'll be better. I watched a lot of the Hornets game on Wednesday, and they were fun to watch. Scored almost 140 points.
Brooklyn's bad. Brooklyn's bad. I know Charlotte's bad too, but yeah, Brooklyn's bad. But yeah, man, like the Hornets, if a healthy Hornets team, and I love that you wanted to start with Charlotte Hornets talk. I love it. A healthy Hornets team with LaMelo, with Brandon Miller, with Miles Bridges, with Con Canoopel, rookie, cousin Con, as we call him in the group chat. Like they're going to. They're not a playoff team, but they're going to be frisky. Like that's going to be a team that can run it out and is gonna really want to push the pace. And it's they can shoot the three. Like they do have 3-point shooters. Like obviously LaMelo's going to take a ton. Canoople's going to get a few. I think Brandon Miller attempted 9 3. So like they are going to shoot, but like I just think of them pushing the pace, alley oops, very athletic team. So I'm excited to watch them for sure.
Yeah, and then the Atlanta Hawks were really poor. See if they can bounce back and play well. Your Lakers were okay, but there's something missing there, and he's pretty good that they're missing.
Yeah, like that's the thing. So I have to tell myself, like, okay, no LeBron, that clearly matters, and it's insane how much a 40-year-old LeBron has championship aspirations. But yeah, I'm not the way that the roster is presently built. Really hard for me to envision a world where they are, well, they're not going to be better than OKC. They're not going to be better than Denver. They're not going to be better than Minnesota. They're not going to be better than Houston. So that's 4 right there. And then you get into Golden State and you get into the Clippers. Well, the Clippers were horrible. The Clippers were the biggest gutless choking dog of any team on Wednesday.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they were losing by 34 points to Utah halfway through the third quarter. It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
A team that was fully healthy with Kawhi and Hart. embarrassing. But like basically all that to say, like Lakers, if everything breaks their way, they're a 5 or 6 seed at best.
Yeah.
I'm not super high, but yeah, go ahead.
Another 12-game slate tonight, so all sorts of action tonight. We should be able to start seeing how these teams continue to build after one game. I mean, it's easy to do overreactions after one game. We'll see what happens second game. There's a couple teams that are playing back-to-back, including the Warriors are getting a back-to-back tonight. I think do the Thunder play again tonight? Maybe not, but I know the Warriors get their first back-to-back. So that's when things will start getting interesting. Back-to-backs, who's sitting, who's playing. But 12 games tonight. So
that Warriors game yesterday. So I was wrong. They did go to overtime. So
yeah,
they have an overtime game against Jokic and the Nuggets, and then their first game is at Portland against a certain team that kind of lost their head coach yesterday in a federal gambling, which I don't even know if we have that on the show thing. I mean, that like everyone knows about it. That's a wild thing. And like as I'm listening to the press conference, all I'm hearing is just this sounds like it came from The Sopranos. Like this is like Italian mafia stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, we don't necessarily have the time or the energy or even the knowledge necessarily to dive into this one too much. I mean, my taking is Terry Rozier not only screwed up, but did it in a really, 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 really stupid way. Yeah. Really stupid, right? Like he had the cash delivered to his house. Like not a good idea. And Chauncey Billups, as far as I can tell, didn't necessarily do anything basketball related here, right?
No, his situation wasn't basketball related. His was his would have to do with like the poker games that were rigged.
With being involved with the ring, right? Yes. So I look at it a little bit different. Obviously, they're both guilty. They're until proven whatever, but they're both arrested. They're both part of a huge scandal. But like when you're looking at affecting the basketball side, like I don't necessarily paint Chauncey in the black eye that I think a lot will, because these stories came together at the same time. If you didn't pay attention, you're like, oh, both those guys have been rigging basketball games.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier, yes.
Terry Rozier, yes. Damon Jones also, I believe, is a part of both.
Damon Jones,
in some capacity. Yes. Damon Jones, the basketball side was a game where he was, he's close with LeBron and got knowledge that LeBron was going to be sitting out a game. So he said, hey, mob guys, you might want to get some bets in right now on Milwaukee here, because I happen to know LeBron ain't playing. He's not on the injury report. And then that was that.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, we can move on from that. But we went 11 minutes without discussing this. It was real good for you too. Wednesday night, a takedown, your first ever takedown of a daily fantasy slate. Now, you're always messing with Skeeter and I that we've won a few or a couple or whatever it has been. Michael in our group's done okay. You felt left out, so you got yours taken care of. Congrats. Big win for you Wednesday night.
Thank you. Yeah, I finally belong in the chat with all of you Sharks. Just you've all had big wins. I finally got my first one. Yeah, a wild night where Victor Wembanyama played a huge role in that. Davion Mitchell played a huge role.
Yeah.
I had VJ Edgecombe, the highest scoring NBA debut since Wilt Chamberlain, which is insane. Again, since Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah. That's insane.
OG Anunoby was really, really good as well. So it was one of those things where just it was the perfect storm. Everything just aligned. You got guys that had career nights, and it all worked out. So I'm very, very happy with that. It was a good way to start the year for sure. Yes. And it reminds us of like why we have been doing NBA DFS for as long as we have. It's like this is going to be the year that we're going to do it, and it finally happened. So I'm
just talked about it that day. So we're going to win. This is the year we're going to really take stuff down, and you got a good start there. But let me ask you. I always, Skeeter and I have kind of always joked, like if we take one down, there's probably a player that we owe the most to, and we joke about getting his jersey. I'm not putting you on the spot that you have to get a jersey, but if you were to get a jersey to commemorate this takedown, would it be Edgecombe? Maybe, because that is historic what he did.
Yeah, Edgecombe. So it's funny enough because there's so many candidates, and Edgecombe is probably not one of the top two. I think it would be Wemby putting up a 70 burger at whatever 15% ownership. And then probably Davion Mitchell. Like Davion Mitchell had 50 fantasy points at sub 3% ownership.
Yeah.
Miami Heat, like he was amazing. So he'd be number two. But I would probably have to say Wemby. I
that's a good
say Wemby there. Like
that's a good choice. I mean, he potentially. I don't know, man. I think he could go down as when he's done the greatest basketball player that's ever lived.
I think so too. Like I'm watching him. He's going up against a Mavericks team that has Anthony Davis, who's a multi-time defensive player of the year. That's supposed to be a playoff team. And there is absolutely no way to stop Victor Wembanyama.
No.
Like the way that he gets to the rim, he barely has to jump off the ground in order to dunk. He's like catching these reverse slams in the air. He can shoot, like he has like a crossover step back three. No one can block his shots. He is absolutely insane. And everyone sort of had the same reaction watching on Wednesday night, where I saw everyone's like, well, I hope you enjoyed seeing other people win. Like if you didn't get your championship yet, you're not going to, because we're about to enter the Wemby era. And I genuinely feel like if not this year, then next year, like it's going to be Wemby's league, and we're just going to have to accept it.
Yeah, what I'm always so amazed by is like literally he could just stand by the rim and put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, like he doesn't have to jump, and I feel like when he does, he's like, oh, he's too high. He's too high. Like he's not going to be able to do it. It's insane. It's absolutely insane the way that he can just like attack the rim and just how he finishes. But like there's athleticism too. It's not like he's just tall. He's doing reverse slams. He's going, underneath the net, and like he can throw it down a variety of ways, and he's incredible. There's no stopping him at all.
Yeah. Well, the Wemby jersey will be on order. No, I'm just kidding. But that's a fun story. So congrats to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully another 12-game slate you can take down tonight.
I mean, the only downside, there's no real downside, but the only downside is now it's like, okay, I've won one.
Yeah.
I know that I have the ability now to like put together good lineups, and so I cashed each of the other 2 nights as well. Like obviously not winning, but I've cashed. So I'm 3 for 3 in terms of just like cashing lineups. I'm onto something. We've talked about all the time how the first couple weeks of the NBA season are like the time to really sort of make money, but it's like I've done it once. Can I do it again? Can I prove that it wasn't a fluke? And now it's like now I'm chasing after that. And
yeah, I mean, you'll be putting lineups in every day for sure.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's move on. There was football last night, kind of went under the radar a little bit. Wasn't a great game, but it was nice for the Los Angeles Chargers, who came away with a big win. And my next question after I talk Chargers real quick, Chargers won 37-10. Yeah. 37-10. I mean, that's not even competitive. We've talked about how these primetime games have been competitive. Last night was not. Justin Herbert looked good. 3 touchdown passes. They're now 5-3 on the season. But my question will move to Minnesota. Are the Vikings actually any good at all?
No, they're not. No, they're not. No way.
I don't think they are.
So let's go through the Vikings season, okay? So week 1, generational fumble by the Bears.
Yes.
And collapse in the 4th quarter that allowed the Vikings. I mean, for the first 3 quarters, the Vikings looked like the worst team in football.
Yes.
And then came back. Okay. Week 2, at home, they get destroyed by the Falcons. 22-6, non-competitive. Week 3, they destroy the Bengals, who had Jake Browning. This was the first Jake Browning start, right?
It was, yes.
Yes. First Jake Browning start. Bengals were non-competitive. Vikings win. Okay. Week 4 against the Steelers, pretty sure they were trailing the whole game. Tried to make a late, so they were down 21-6 going into the 4th quarter, but they scored 15 in the 4th, but it wasn't enough for them to win. And then I think Carson Wentz had a late turnover as well to seal it. Yeah. Okay, the next week they are once again in London, so they don't have to travel. They're already in overseas. They barely beat the Cleveland Browns. In fact, they had to come back against the Browns by scoring a touchdown with 25 seconds to go against the Browns. Then they lose to the Eagles, and then they get destroyed by the Vikings or by the Chargers. Excuse me. That's not impressive at all.
No, I feel like they have been the most up and down, but their ups have only been like a couple quarters. Right?
Yes,
like they've been miserable a lot more than they've been terrific. So
yes, fourth quarter against the Steelers, 4th quarter against the Bears. Like that's it. They have not, aside from that Bengals game, they have not strung together multiple quarters in a row of them playing good football.
And in the NFC North, that's not going to work. Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago have all been fairly consistent over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So, trouble for Minnesota. I don't know, man. They have a quarterback issue because obviously Carson Wentz is not getting it done as a serviceable backup, and I'm not so sure J.J. McCarthy's even ready, right? So we'll see. But that was an interesting score, 37-10. Let's look at the rest of the NFL slate for week 8. Get that clicked on here. Oh yeah, we got it on the bottom now. It's scrolling. All right, we're fancy.
I like it. That's very fancy, Rodney. I love it.
The rest of the NFL week 8 slate. I was looking at betting lines for best bets for betting, and I think I'm just fatigued because like I see nothing that pops out to me that's like, wow, that looks like a good line. But let's run down the games. Jets, Bengals, Bills, Panthers, Niners, Texans, Giants, Eagles, Browns, Patriots, Bears, Ravens, Dolphins, Falcons. Those are your noon games. Bears, Ravens, interesting at all?
If Lamar plays, yes. If Lamar plays, which he's practicing, yes?
Yeah.
And well, I'm going to assume that Lamar is supposed to play because the Ravens are a 6.5-point favorite.
Yeah. They're not going to be a 6.5-point favorite without Lamar.
Right. The rest of the slate though for noon is pretty gross.
Yeah, I mean it's a rematch, Giants Eagles. I think there's going to be eyes on that one because the Giants beat them the first time. Eagles probably ticked off. So let me ask this real quick. We've been saying all year, well, I have been. You haven't necessarily been on this one, but like Derrick Henry is going to have at least a bounce back game, right? Right?
In theory, I've been saying the same thing about Saquon too, but that hasn't happened yet.
That was going to be my next question. Saquon Barkley is at least going to have a bounce back game. So, like, here I am, week 8, putting lineups together. I'm like, oh, Saquon's at home. Oh, Derrick Henry's at home. Pretty good spots. They're due. But week after week, outside of week 1, they take my money away. And it's Jonathan Taylor that should be played instead of those two guys. But I don't know. I'm still on board in week 8. Saquon, good spot. Derrick Henry, good spot. Talk me down here. Talk me down because I like both of them a lot. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think about. So Derrick Henry has had good games with Lamar. Yeah. Because with Lamar in there, what Baltimore is able to do is they're able to get to basically force the defense. Hey, are you going to worry about him running? You're going to worry about Lamar running. It's got to think about one of us. But when Lamar's not in there, it's you don't have that option. Now they will, and that's going to help Derrick Henry in theory. And plus, and honestly, between the two, I think Derrick Henry's probably in a better spot. But and also I don't know if they're going to go full guns blazing with Lamar passing a ton either, just depending on his injury and his health and stuff. So I'm good with it, but also I've been burned so many times by the veteran running backs this year where at the end of the day, it's just, you're right. Hey, Jonathan Taylor, put him in. Hey, Christian McCaffrey, put him in. And, McCaffrey's going to be in that noon window against Houston. In theory, that's a good matchup as well. Who are some other big running backs that are playing at that time?
I mean, JT's got a prime matchup as well. He hosts the Tennessee Titans, who he has torched in the past before.
I saw. JT's already. He's almost up to Edgerrin James in the number of career rushing touchdowns as a Colt.
Wow.
Yeah, it's he's 3 behind him, so he's going to pass him here very soon.
You got this guy by the name of Bijan Robinson. Oh yeah, he gets the Dolphins this week.
Yeah, and while not in that tier of running back, I look at Chase Brown against the Jets. I'm like, that's a good spot too. So that's the thing though. So with Derrick Henry, I like the matchup. It's a risk. I don't think that there'll be a ton of people on him because, we're saying, they've been burned too often, and there's just so many other running backs to choose from. So that's something that you have to decide. Do you want to take that gamble? Because it could pay off extraordinarily well for you.
Oh yeah, one more. A guy that's averaging 20 carries and over 100 yards in his last 3 weeks is now facing a defense that can't stop the run, and he's at home. Oh, it's Rico Dowdle against the Bills. And at week 1 or before the season, you'd be like, week 8, Panthers, Bills, that's not even going to be competitive. But now all of a sudden, Carolina at home with Rico Dowdle, who's been terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you have Rico Dowdle's numbers there? Because I know that Chuba Hubbard is back, or he came back last week. So I don't know what Dowdle's numbers were with Hubbard back.
Rico went for 206 against Miami in 23 carries. He went for 183 against Dallas on 30 carries. And then last week he had 17, still had 17 carries. He had 79 yards on the ground with a reception and 17 yards via the pass. Now,
so it's not, so they're not giving him 30 carries again.
They're not giving him 30 carries. Now, Chuba did play last week. He had 14 carries, 31 yards. So he got 40-ish% of the carries. So yeah, Rico's not getting home, but he's playing a Buffalo off defense that has not been able to stop the run at all.
Yeah.
They are giving up 156.3 yards per game on the ground. That is 31st in the NFL. That's not good. That's not good. So
no.
a lot of running backs this week. If I could play 5 running backs, I would. Dan says Carolina having the same record as the Chiefs at this point of the season is crazy, but I'm here for it. Hashtag keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
All right. More NFL. So the later games, Bucks, Saints, Cowboys, Broncos, Titans, Colts. And then the Sunday night game is Packers, Steelers. It's the Aaron Rodgers revenge game. Although it's in Pittsburgh, it'd be better if it was in Green Bay. And then Monday night is Washington at Kansas City with no Jaden Daniels. Kansas City's 11.5-point favorite. So that is – I just look at the slate, and I'm not in love with the games. I'm just not in love with these games.
Yeah, it's not the best weekend of football, but also any weekend of football is still good. If you had to pick like which game you're most looking forward to of all of them,
honestly, I'm probably saying Bears-Ravens. Bears are intriguing with 4 straight wins. Now, that's maybe geographic area answer there. We hear more about the Bears around here. I am interested in the Giants-Eagles. I want to see if the Eagles can, get some revenge in that one. I know you're frustrated with your New York Football Giants. Last week was a killer. So, like, the luster is lost a little bit there. You're still a fan, so you'll like it. And then the 3 o'clock games, probably Dallas, Denver, because we've seen Dallas can score if they could put up points. Like, is Bo Nix going to go crazy again?
This sounds stupid because of what literally just happened less than a week ago, but I'm not overly impressed with Denver.
No, and they needed Bo Nix to throw it 50 times last week.
Yeah, and I mean, keep in mind, 3 quarters of that game, inept. And it was what the Vikings-Bears game looked like on steroids. And naturally, that's really what it was. But my takeaway wasn't like, wow, Denver, really, really good team. It was, I think that they've gotten pretty fortunate.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's a team. It's hard to say, but like that game against the Jets in London was horrendous.
Yep.
But they won by 2. Beat the Giants by 1. An incredible comeback.
Beat the Eagles by 4.
Beat the Eagles by 4. There's a lot of close wins. A lot of close wins. They've had one game this year that wasn't decided by a single possession, and that was that Monday night game against the Bengals when Jake Browning.
Jake Browning was
non-competitive.
Yeah, Jake Browning was horrific in that game. So I mean, you're right. Now I can do devil's advocate on the other side that their losses were by 1 to the Colts and 3 to the Chargers.
Absolutely. So that's the other component of it, where that's a team that could be 7-0 right now. Yeah. But yet I didn't watch them and think this is a dominant team. And if you ask me right now, I would probably say they're the 3rd best team in that division.
Yeah.
I would take the Chargers over them straight up, and I would take the Chiefs against them straight up as well.
It's the highest point total on the board. Dallas, Denver, 50.5 in that one. I just think you could see some offense. You could definitely see some offense. Dallas defense, we know, is not very good. The biggest spread of the weekend is Tennessee at Indianapolis. The Colts are 14.5 point favorites at home in that one. That's a big discrepancy. But a lot of these games I see this week have like 7.5. Like that's like no in the NFL. I'm not taking a 7.5 point spread. Just not doing it. Not doing it.
That's a bad number.
Bad number. All right, let's move to some college football games because I know we got to get to our best bets for betting. I also have another topic we need to get to. Tomorrow's college football games. Ole Miss is at Oklahoma, 2 top 10 teams. Illinois has actually got another big one. Like, this is one you need to go win. They have to go to Seattle and play Washington. Missouri at Vanderbilt. Let's see, Wisconsin at Oregon. Luke Fickell was not fired, by the way. But, like, they might leave him in the Pacific Northwest this time. Like, they might just say, here's Oregon, find your way out, and send him on the Oregon Trail. Texas A&M is at LSU. That should be a good one. I would say that's probably about it for the best games of the week. Any games stick out? UCLA at Indiana. Can UCLA stay hot?
That is in my best bets. Spoiler alert. So I won't tell you yet where I stand on that game, but yeah, it intrigues me a little bit. Yeah. UCLA, red hot UCLA, facing number 2 Indiana. Did you ever think, Rodney, that you would see a day where the Indiana Hoosiers are the second best team in college football?
No, but they're awfully good. They've what they give Cignetti 10 years now. He's going to be there a while.
So a franchise coach or whatever, not franchise coach, but you know what I'm saying, and potentially the number 1 pick in the NFL draft next year,
and Heisman. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah,
and Heisman.
All right, we don't need to spend a lot of time in college. We can get back to those games. Tonight is the World Series, game 1 of the World Series. It's the Dodgers, it's the Blue Jays from Toronto. We've got to make our World Series picks. I think we're going to be in line here. I'm pretty sure we're going to be aligned here. I'm sorry, but I'm taking Dodgers in 5.
Yeah, that's it's kind of where I'm at too. I don't want to jump on you, and maybe this is like an emotional hedge as well because I desperately don't want the Dodgers to win. But at the same time, it just seems like their pitching has been so good, and like they shut down Phillies lineup aside from one game. I mean, Milwaukee they scored 1 run in every game. That's it. And Toronto just had a 7-game series that was super tough. It was emotional. It was a big moment. And then you just have the Dodgers that are just going to show up and be like, all right, take care of business. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to say Dodgers in 5 as well. And they go back to back, and then they can enjoy their World Series that they might or might not actually celebrate because they won the pennant and they were just like shaking hands like, yep, good job.
Okay, so let's go this scenario. The Dodgers win the World Series and then sign who in December?
Like of all of the potential free agents, I mean, Kyle Tucker is probably someone who would be up their alley too. And like legitimately, so their corner outfielders right now is what they have Teoscar, who has to play the outfield. Yeah. So they probably sign Kyle Tucker, put him in one of the corner outfield spots.
Yeah, because the Cubs are such a small market that the Dodgers take them away.
Yeah. Or I also think if the Dodgers, if they don't want to go that big, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they are interested in a Cody Bellinger reunion if the Yankees
I could see
able to sign Kyle Tucker, which would mean then they move off Cody Bellinger. Like Cody Bellinger back to the Dodgers makes some sense as well, but it's just hope you enjoy baseball now because a year from now we're going to be saying, hey, see ya for a while. Baseball.
Yeah. My bizarro world is the Dodgers somehow find a way to get Tarek Skubal from the Tigers.
Yeah, that too. Just because why not? Like That's the thing. It's you look at their rotation. Their rotation is like all these guys that are there long term, lots of money, but yet they're somehow going to keep adding more.
Yeah.
I don't like eventually you don't need another starting pitcher. Like you don't need Tarek Skubal's great, but if you already have Yamamoto and Snell and Glasnow and Ohtani, and Sasaki, if you do put him back in the rotation next year, like you don't need Tarek Skubal on top of it.
Well,
and at some point, the Tigers have to say, no, we're not going to help you do that. We're not going to do this for you.
Yep.
So, and take Dodgers prospects that will of course be very, very mediocre when they're developed and brought up by another team.
Yeah, the top farm system in the world, apparently, every year.
What I hear.
Yeah. Although Bernie Miklasz in St. Louis was saying the Cardinals farm system has started to be near the top. So I'm interested in seeing how that works.
Yeah. Well, like JJ Weatherholtz is a top 15 prospect in baseball. So yeah,
sure.
is he gonna be a shortstop for them? Because obviously they have Mason Wynn plugged in there long term. So is Weatherholt gonna be a second baseman?
I mean, I think you would probably play Weatherholt at second base. I mean, Nolan Gorman's not going to stay, so that's a pretty good middle infield. Then Dan says if the Tigers let Skubal walk, fold the franchise. Yeah, I mean, if you can't keep him, if you don't have an interest in keeping him, then who are you going to keep, right? Like you're not keeping anybody, right? You can't keep anybody. So that's a good point there. All right, let's get to our best bets for betting. We can talk about these games for a little bit, and if we have extra time at the end, maybe come back to anything we breeze through. But it's our best bets for betting segment. We both pick 5 games. We alternate who we pick or who picks. And Tim is winning this year after I kind of smoked him last year. He's got to lead this year. He's on a streak. It is Tim. He is on fire. I am 18-22. That is not good. He is 22-18. That is good enough to be 4 games ahead of me. So it's time to get back on track. I'm going to start taking it serious now. Okay, I'm going to start taking this serious and make a little dent in your lead.
I was going to say, I think you were just it was a little bit of pity losses. And I was shocked to see that you do have a college football game. This would be like your first college football win, and I know that you haven't been Substack and you've been winning in Substack, but for here, you have not won in about a month on any college football game. So
no.
I'm going to break that streak.
No, I haven't. I'm going to start tonight. New York Knicks -5.5 over the Boston Celtics. I'm just not a believer in the Boston Celtics. I know they still have plenty of good players. I do. I just think they are going to find the loss of Tatum to be a lot for them. What they do in week 1? They lost in their opener to Philadelphia at home.
The Celtics, which was a good game, a very good game. Yeah. But yes, they did lose.
117-116. Knicks came away with a win over the Cavaliers at home. So obviously that's a nice win. A lot of people are saying the Cavs and Knicks are the best 2 teams in the East, which I don't know as if I can argue about. Now, OG is a game time decision, and Karl Anthony Towns is a game time decision. Yeah. Mitchell Robinson is out. Josh Hart is a game time decision.
Anunoby might have been upgraded to probable. I'm seeing likely to play now for Friday, unless that's changed.
That'll help. Although I think the Knicks still win this game and win it fairly easily. They, at the Garden, they still like this new coach after 1 game. They haven't quit on him yet. So I'm going to take the Knicks -5.5 tonight.
Now, Rodney, I'm going to give you an opportunity here, and this is something that we don't normally do on Best Bets, but I'm seeing the line for this game at 3.5 points for the Knicks, not 5.5. I don't know if it dramatically changed since you put it in, or if you just mistyped it. But I'm going to give you the opportunity here, since I see it at 3.5, to have you take it at 3.5. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I definitely mistyped. I definitely mistyped it. My new pick is the New York Knicks -3.5 over the Boston Celtics tonight. That's interesting. I mean, it also scares me a little bit that it would move 2 points. I'm like, what do people know? Yeah. Well, okay. So when I made these picks, I used the Score app, which isn't necessarily a betting app. It's more of a scores app. It has all the games. I didn't log on to DraftKings or FanDuel to see it. I got lazy at 6:00 in the morning. So Yeah, DraftKings has 3.5. We'll take that. So I'll take the Knicks tonight. Go New York, go New York, go.
All right, I'm also going to stick with an NBA game tonight. My boy, Victor Wembanyama, going to New Orleans. Spurs and Pelicans. The Spurs are a 3.5-point road favorite. It's a little risky.
It is.
Just NBA teams on the road. New Orleans looked pretty good against in their debut on Wednesday. Zion had a good game. But I think that this number is too low for what we just saw San Antonio do against a Dallas Mavericks team that should be solid. Misi, the starting center for New Orleans, is questionable. So the fact that New Orleans is already super thin at center and now has to face Victor Wembanyama, terrifying. And I don't think New Orleans is a super good defensive team either. So I just think that the Spurs are able to. Wemby is a lock for Defensive Player of the Year. Lock it in, Dan. But yeah, I'm going to take the Spurs here at 3.5 points. They win by 4 or more in New Orleans.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead and go to tomorrow's game, the college game that I do have. The Tigers, I'm putting faith in Brian Kelly. Texas A&M is undefeated, but that's not going to happen, right?
Are they?
We see these teams beat up on each other. It's 2.5-point spread. LSU gets this done. They desperately need this win. It's like Illinois going to Washington, and they got 2 losses. They got to find a way. I think LSU finds a way to get this done and beats Texas A&M. 2.5, manageable. I'll take the Tigers minus 2.5 over the Aggies tomorrow in college football. Give me the Tigers.
I like it. All right, I am gonna go college here for a couple games. My first one. I acknowledge that UCLA has turned things around. They got an interim coach, but I'm also realizing that they got to go across the country to Indiana and face the number 2 team in the nation with the potential Heisman and one of the top 5 coaches in college football. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
It's a good spot for Indiana. It's a big number, but I think that this could be a good humbling game for UCLA to be like, oh yeah, that's right. There is a reason that we fired our coach because we're not very good. So Indiana 25.5. The number should probably be closer to 28.5 if realistically. So I'm gonna take the Hoosiers in a big win against the Bruins
because Curt Cignetti does not lay off the gas hardly at all.
No. And it's always a prove it. There's always gonna be people like Indiana, really, and you gotta have those big wins. So yeah, I'm taking the Hoosiers here.
All right, I will go against one of the 31st team in the NFL who I had in the power rankings. Okay, so old Mike is gonna get fired at some point. Now,
you think?
Is it going to be midseason? Does the owner, Stephen Ross, that's his name? Yeah, Stephen Ross. Mm-hmm. Does he want to do it midseason? I don't think he wants to, but he might be forced to. And maybe Mike wants out and just says, "Screw this! We're tanking here." Now the Falcons did not look good last week. Now the Falcons also do not blow teams out very often. So all those things are going against me, but I just don't think Miami's going to keep up here. Bijan again. You got to give him the ball. Give him the ball early. Got to give him the ball often. I'm going to take the Falcons minus 7.5 over the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I like it. I thought about that one. I like it too, but it was right after you had said that a lot of games that have a spread of 7.5 points, and I was like, yeah, that number is thing, and you never know. Miami, what happens if Devon Achane goes nuclear and they end up being close? Yeah. All right, this one I don't really have too much analysis on it. I'm going with the classic gut feel here. Iowa State is a home favorite against BYU. BYU is ranked 11th in the nation, but I'm saying, okay, there's got to be a reason that Iowa State, despite that's a favorite. And 2.5 is still a really small number. It's not like the Cyclones are a bad football team by any means. So home team, small number. I'm going to go with the Cyclones here to win by 3+.
All right. I will go. So this is my last one, right?
Oh, no.
I got.
Oh, yeah. You got two more.
Oh, yeah, I skipped past this one. All right, I will go the Baltimore Ravens -6.5 at home against the Chicago Bears. Obviously,
Hater.
banking on Lamar playing. Yeah. I mean, I think the Bears come back to earth at some point. Should be this week. This is hard to say when you got a Baltimore team that's won one game so far this year. I just look for a fallback from Chicago in an improvement from Baltimore, maybe a little bit healthier Baltimore team now. So I'm going to take Baltimore -6.5 and roll with it. Scary because Chicago has certainly been the better team the last month or so, but I like Baltimore in this one. I'll take the Ravens.
Bears have won 4 in a row, man. That is a generational win streak that's happening in Chicago right now. All right, my second to last pick happens to be something that I have not yet done this football season. Something that I don't think I've ever won when I've made a total one of my best bets. But I am going with the 49ers Texans under.
Okay.
41.5 points. The Texans offense has really just been hard to watch. I think that this will be one of those games where you don't see super great offensive performances. Dan mentions Ravens defense like Leo's diapers, poopy. That's true. That's a good point. That's analysis.
It is analysis.
But yeah. I'm gonna take a risk here and say that 49ers Texans, which is already at a low number, ends up being it can be 21-13. And that's an under. And we don't see much. I don't think Houston's going to shoot out against San Francisco, and I don't think the 49ers offense, as it currently stands right now, is going to be able to put up a big spot on the road either. So I'm going to take the under.
All right, my last one. Well, first of all, Dan's best bet is Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs over Minnesota is his best bet.
Spoiler there. That was my fifth one. So
oops. Dan, I wanted to shout out real quick. I don't know if you remember the great Butch Cable that played for the Rivermen years and years ago. His son is now with the Peoria Rivermen, Lazarus, and he is actually my wife's nephew. So congratulations.
Whoa.
He's playing for the Peoria Rivermen. So I have a famous Riverman in the family now. But anyways, that's our hockey talk for the day. All right, Packers -2.5 over the Steelers is my final one. Just not buying into Pittsburgh. I think Green Bay can win this game on the road, and I think they can do it by a field goal or more. I'll take the Packers -2.5.
Yeah, I keep waiting for the Steelers to just turn back into a pumpkin. I just have to accept myself, like no matter how boring they are, they're going to win 10 games.
Yeah.
They're going to make the playoffs and then lose immediately in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be that. All right, my final best bet for betting. This is another risky one here. I don't know if it's just the overconfidence of being on a little bit of a streak here, but it's a division game in New Orleans. Tampa Bay's really beat up. The Saints, as we've talked about a couple times, they're scrappy, and they're especially scrappy when they're at home as well.
Yeah.
So, Tampa likes to play close games. I think New Orleans will surprise. Oh, I meant to say plus. They're not.
I was going to give you, since you gave me the 3.5.
Yes.
I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
You might want to change that. It's a difference of 9 points.
Mine was a typo. The Saints are a 4.5 point home underdog. So I'm gonna say the Saints cover at home.
Yeah. All right. Good choice there. All right. Coming into week 8, I am 18-22. You are 22-18, 4 games ahead. So speaking of 4, might as well just move right to it. Mount Rushmore of 4. Today is the 104th show. I've got one right off the top of my head that I can throw out there, and I'll start it with Yadier Molina, Cardinals catcher,
yes.
number 4. So both my oldest, Jonah, he wears number 4 in most of his sports. He's 12 for football this year because he's a freshman and he didn't get 4. But he typically wears 4, especially for baseball. And then my youngest wears 4 in softball, and I think it has something to do with Yadi. But number 4. That's my first one, Yadier Molina. Who do you got?
I'll give you Yadier Molina. I think that's a good one, but there have been some very, very good Major League Baseball players to wear number 4. Um, the first one that came to my mind was Lou Gehrig.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
the
good.
Iron Horse,
Probably,
I feel like should probably get a spot here on the Mount Rushmore. You also have Mel Ott, you have Luke Appling, you have Paul Molitor, you have
yeah.
Bobby Grich, you have Duke Snyder. So you have Lenny Dykstra, you have George Springer, the NLCS here or ALCS hero, who is number 4 as well. So, and by the way, those are all players that I just named that have a higher career WAR than Yadier Molina, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Because
And
Yadi, what he lacks in career WAR, he makes up for in managing the pitching staff and game calling.
yeah.
So
a bunch of NBA. So we'll go Yachty and Lou Gehrig for now, but Yachty may get removed because Lou Gehrig's the guy in this one, right? I mean,
Lou Gehrig's pretty good, man. Yeah, I'd be willing to say he's the guy there.
A bunch of NBA guys wore number 4 or are currently wearing number 4, including your boy Dalton Connect, right?
Yeah, Connect 4. Yeah. He's not going to go on the Mount Rushmore.
No, and neither Spud Webb, but that was a fun one and a fun name.
Yeah.
And Chris Webber, the all-time timeout guy that.
Yep.
Oh, how about
you know what? I don't like that Chris Webber is known for being the timeout guy. But Chris Webber was an amazing college player, had a great NBA career as well. I believe is also a Hall of Famer. Yeah. He is in the Basketball Hall of Fame. So I would like to make Chris Webber known for more than just timeout guy. But
Sean Kemp, he was 4 and 40 though, right? Didn't he move to 40?
Sean Kemp? Yeah, I think so. I think he moved. Yeah, there were a couple. Chris Bosh wore number 4 with Toronto. Yeah. He was a good one. Yeah, there were a couple others when I was looking earlier that I was trying to pull up here. But Evan Mobley currently wears it. It's only been a few years, but he currently wears number 4. Sidney Moncrief, former Milwaukee Buck.
The good news is, while we're waiting, we can go ahead and just say Dan took care of hockey for us.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. Thank you.
So Lou Gehrig and Bobby Orr are in.
Yeah. Anton Jameson, is he get in?
No, but he was fun in college.
Yeah. Michael Finley was a good player too.
He's a Chicago boy, by the way.
Yep. Adrian Dantley, Joe Dumars. I feel like the list of number 4s for NBA is a bunch of guys. Oh, how about this one from 1998 to 2002? Chauncey Billups, number 4.
Good timing on that one. So I'm gonna kick Yachty off, and I'm gonna go Lou Gehrig, and I'm gonna go Bobby Orr, and you're gonna pick your NBA guy.
So if we're picking one NBA guy, just one.
I mean, yeah, because I think we're going to have an NFL that we need to throw on here.
Yeah, there is an NFL. There's a very obvious NFL one. If we're taking one NBA, I'm gonna give it to, I'm gonna give it to Chris Webber. Chris Webber. Congratulations, C Webb. It was him or Michael Fisher. And also number 4 is Nick Collison, who I say is the worst professional athlete to ever have his number retired.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So the NFL, you said there was an obvious one. Of course, that's Jared Stidham. Yes. Or Bailey Zappi.
Nick Collison averaged 5.9 points a game for his career, and his number is in the rafters in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's disgusting as what it is.
That's disgusting.
And you know what? And you know what the sick thing is, though? They're not going to retire Kevin Durant's number either.
No, they're not.
No.
More NFL guys, current NFL guys wear number 4. James Cook from the Buffalo Bills, Rashee Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. They all wear number 4. 2 quarterbacks.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson all wore 4. But the one you're talking about, that would be Brett Favre. Brett Favre, number 4. So this list would essentially be Lou Gehrig, Brett Favre, Chris Webber, and Bobby Orr. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And I think we could definitely do like one athlete from each one. If we wanted to do like another baseball one, obviously you could do like Mellott or Paul Muller, but I like going one from each year, and like those are all Hall of Famers. Those are all legends. Like I'm good with it.
Yeah, if we can get one in each sport, I think that's the premise of trying to do it. It just becomes very difficult in some of the sports to do that. Yeah. We should be able to all the way up to 40, I would think. These are fairly prime numbers that we should be able to find one in each sport. But thanks, Dan. We didn't even have to do the hockey research on that one. Bobby Orr, and he was good enough to just be the only hockey name we know that wore 4. Yeah. Thanks,
yeah,
Dan.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Yeah, makes our job easy.
And if he wasn't actually 4, well, okay, we don't really care. You said he was 4, so he's 4. Anyways, that should about do it, right? We need to be logging off here. You got some studying to do for NBA DFS. Takes you about 7 or 8 hours to get your lineups.
It does 7 or 8 hours, and then I send you my lineups 3 minutes before lock.
Yeah, and here's the crazy part, and the part that really kind of bugs me, because I probably would have tailed all of your lineups that night. I had a few of my own, and we had some similar guys. But every once in a while, I'll put a couple $1 or $2 lineups in, and they'll be duplicates and just different ones. But then when we exchange, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I like that one. I'll just literally copy over a lineup, and because you don't care. Now our buddy Skeeter, he cares. Like he cannot copy lineups. Like he like literally going to arrest us. But if I would have seen it 2 minutes before lineup lock, I probably would have got it in time. I can do it very quickly. I just didn't see it until after 6:10 or whatever the lineup was.
Yeah.
So I probably could have won some of this money with you, which I know, sour grapes. That's my first response I gave to you early in the morning on Thursday. Was like, I think I even was like, fuck, the day I didn't tell you.
Yeah, no, it was pretty much that was it. But yeah. Well, so the problem is the last 2 nights I've had to do like errands where it's like happens to be like as soon as I'm done with work, I'm like rushing. So I filled out my tournament winning lineup in the parking lot of the Hobby Lobby in Pekin because
I love it.
Amber was in there getting God knows what with money. And I'm just like scrambling, and I'm just like there, and I'm just like, I need to get these lineups in, but it's like, of course, like I had to go with whatever reason, but I was like, I need to get these lineups locked, so I'm just in there, and it's like 56, and I'm just in the car, my dog's in the back seat, and I'm in the parking lot, and just like making sure everything's all good, making sure my player exposure is all how I want it, and then I'm like, all right, it's in God's hands now. And then that's how that happened. And then yesterday too, I like had my build too in the car as well. And then I did some last second tinkering before lock at 6:30. So that's the key apparently. Just be incredibly stressed and go to the last possible second.
So I mean, you always have that like, hey, honey, I give me 5 minutes. I got to finish my lineups here. Like this is important. Do you want to make X amount of dollars today or not?
Yeah. Now I can. Now I can be like, hey, I've won before. You got to let me do my thing here. This is now an important part of my lifestyle. So
lineup lock is approaching. So anyways, well, let's get out of here for the day. Good luck to this weekend for all of the for everybody that's listening, and especially you, Tim. Take another one down. That would be fun. But if you are not following us on Twitter, it is not X. It is Twitter. There is no W at the end. Stupid Sports Show. Do so now or regret it later.
Right now.
Our Substack is continuing. We are right around 500 for the month still. So we're not going to have a huge October, but we are still up nearly 50 units on the year. So make sure you sign up on Substack for that. It's got plenty of picks. In fact, today's comes out around 11:30 or so. So you got a couple hours today to get that in. Plenty of action today. All the equinox of sports going on. So that, and then tell us where they can find us.
All 100 and soon to be 104 episodes of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth will be available on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, anywhere you get your podcasts. Make sure to download. You could subscribe. You could give us a 5-star rating. Help us take down McAfee and all the other blowhards that do what we do, but much richer.
Much richer. Well, not anymore for you.
For now. For now. Just wait.
Not
Just
anymore.
wait. If I get another Davion Mitchell 50 burger, I'm going to be right there with you, Pat. I'm going to be right there with you.
Yeah. That would, boy, did you look to see what, I mean, so your money was significant, but did you look to see what the biggest contest, the mega contest, what the point total winner was? Yeah, don't do it.
No, because I wasn't going to enter them anyway. Like my entry was $8. Like they were $8 lineups, and I did 3 of them. Like I wasn't in a contest where it was a $555 entry or any of those. So it's like, what's the point of thinking about that? Because I wasn't going to do it anyway. I did the only contest that I knew that I would actually do. So.
Yeah, but even the $15 one probably would have been.
Can you see it retroactively? Like, can you go back and look, or is it too late?
A question for our buddy.
But like, I don't know if I want to, because then you know what? I'm feeling good about where I'm at. I don't want to do anything that is like, oh, I could have done this. Like, I'm happy with how it all ended up.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck this weekend. Hope you take down another one and enjoy the NBA and everything going on. A week from Monday, college basketball gets started, so we're approaching. But take us away. Take us home, Tim.
Rock and roll. Thanks everyone who joined us. We'll be back Tuesday nights, 9 p.m., which will it be a World Series night? Are they going to go back to back, or do they not do 2 in a row?
Saturday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
For World Series? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it'll be World Series nights. Potentially Dodgers have a chance to clinch it. We're just going to go ahead and get ahead of that right now. To sweep. Yeah. If they're up 3-0, they're going to win it in 4. Like they'll be in LA. They'll be Ohtani pitching, I'm sure. He'll hit 4 home runs and
finish the season off. Just be like, okay, congratulations, guys. We're back-to-back World Series champions. Now let's go to Cancun.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go buy Kyle Tucker and Tarek Skubal while we're at it too. All right, yeah, we'll be back Tuesday night though. Enjoy your weekend. Lots of great sports this weekend. And for Rodney Newpel, I am Tim, the AAR pitcher Van Stratton, and this has been another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpel and Tim Van Stratton.